Hey, it is Dragon Week, I guess. So rather than play the contrarian grognard, I'm going to lean into it a little bit. Let's talk dragons, and more specifically, how to kill them realistically.
I love this place!
After all my years in the hobby, there's something that's always stood out to me. Fighting dragons, especially the really big ones with standard adventuring gear in D&D, your longsword and, bow and arrow and stuff like that, it's a little bit absurd, isn't it? Just look at this size chart from the Draconomicon. Actually, one of the better 3rd edition source books out there. I don't care how shiny your +5 Vorpal sword is, that perfect 20 you rolled, it is going to be a paper cut to something that size. And think about how dragons actually go down in the stories we grew up with. Vermithrax Pejorative in the 1981 film Dragon Slayer. What a cool name that is, by the way. Both Dragon Slayer and Vermithrax Pejorative. The dragon doesn't die from a sword. Basically, a magical IED in the form of Galen's old master Ulrich is planted on the dragon and then detonated with a remote control amulet. Smaug in The Hobbit, brought down by a, let's face it, random guy from Lake Town, making what is a 1 in a million shot with a not quite magic arrow. And even then, you gotta squint a little to buy it. I mean, Smaug is just so big. And that arrow, well, it's not that big. Don't get mad, Tolkien fans. I love him too. I love all the stories, all the books, even the movies. I'm just saying objectively, it stretches believability just a little bit. Now in fantasy RPGs, it's totally fair for a party to take on like a young or even an adult-sized dragon using their standard adventuring gear. At that size, sure, a well-placed sword stroke could just do the trick. But ancient or colossal dragons, forget about it. Unless you got some serious magical artillery, you're not going to be scratching them. And yet part of me feels that martial characters should be able to get in on the action too. So here is my take. Rather than homebrewing a dragon killer class or giving every ranger a magic scale breaker, what if the gameplay itself demanded some serious prep work? Researching ancient texts, studying the beast's habits, looking for weaknesses. That's where the story really begins. So let's say your party wants to go dragon hunting. Step 1, you have to get it out of the sky. That's where you start. You'll need to lure the creature to a location of your choosing. How you do that, what bait you use, where you set the trap, that's a whole adventure in and of itself. But let's say the trap is set. The sky darkens, the beast is coming. That's when the first weapon comes into play. A giant ballista. A required weapon for taking a dragon out of the sky. Not just any siege weapon, but one built or enchanted specifically for this task. Forget the whole bear patch trope like with Smaug, it's tired. Instead, we're talking massive javelins inscribed with runes, maybe even infused with ancient magic that your party dug up in some forgotten ruin. Now picture those javelins attached to some pretty big rocks with some enchanted chains or unbreakable elven rope. Hit the dragon a few times and suddenly it's not flying so well. Think Jaws here, but in reverse. Barrels dragging the beast down instead of up. Now it's grounded and between fire breaths or acid sprays or whatever flavor Pez this particular one is packing, you guys go in for the kill. Here's where the fight really begins. You're not going to stab it to death with a dagger or a short sword. Even a standard longsword's just a glorified toothpick at this scale. But a giant polearm? We might be talking now. Halberds, glaives, and bardishes, is that how you pronounce that? As big as a man, each one coated with a virulent poison. And this poison, well, that's its own quest too. Rare, legendary, maybe toxic to even handle. Designed to bypass that legendary constitution and force multiple saves on the creature. Enough hits, and even a dragon starts to stumble. And then you have to go in for the killing blow. Someone drives a halberd into the dragon's eye, one of the only real weak points, and forces it into its brain. Maybe there's a final spasm, the creature lashes out with a death bite, and then collapses, dead. Legend made. So this kind of battle, it's not just roll to hit until it dies. It's tactical. It's cinematic even. It's teamwork. The whole group gets involved. Some are learning how to load and fire that ballista. I can already see the Rocky-style training montage. Others are scouring for lost tombs, for clues, or trekking through swamps to find one plant that can be turned into that legendary dragonbane poison. Still others are figuring out how to lure the beast into this trap you've set. Now even the wizard, if they're around, they still have plenty to do too. Fireballs as aerial surface-to-air missiles, battlefield control, wards for protection. But if they're knocked out of the fight, or running late, as maybe they're prone to do, the rest of the party isn't quite as helpless. Pulling off a dragon hunt like this, it could be a game changer. Kind of thing kingdoms notice, kind of thing people pay for. Your players aren't just dragon slayers, they're strategists, innovators, the A-team of Apex Predator Extermination. So yeah, this is a different way to think about dragon slaying. And I think it's way cooler than, just the fighter or the rogue rolled a critical hit. Hoorah. Let me know what you guys think. Have you ever run a dragon hunt like this in your game? Have I missed any of your killer tactics? Or am I totally off the mark here? Should you just let, the wizard blast away to get the dragon on the ground and then just kind of go in and use your +2 toothpick to stab its toe? I'd be happy to hear what you have to say. Hey, that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching. You guys take care. Have a great, great rest of your day. Peace. Well, the sponsor for today's video is Firelock Games. You may know them from Blood and Plunder. They also have a role-playing game called War Stories, which is a World War II role-playing game using the Year Zero engine from Free League. Now, I did a review of War Stories a little while back, and generally speaking, I really liked it. Just a couple of little things I might have changed here and there, but there were no deal breakers. And they have a Kickstarter campaign now that expands this from Europe, which is in here, to the Pacific. And there's also, in this Kickstarter, a campaign that takes us back to Europe for Operation Market Garden. You may remember that as seen in movies such as A Bridge Too Far, one of the best war movies of all time. I have no problem supporting this company, Firelock Games, games only, no nonsense. That is why, actually, they are sponsoring. I don't take sponsorships from most of the people that reach out to me. This one I did because I like the company and I want to see this game succeed. So if you want to take your game to the Pacific or up in Holland for Operation Market Garden, check out the Kickstarter. The link is in the description of this video.